Hello everyone, Taylor here. Today I'm going to talk to you about the Every Student Succeeds Act, or ESSA, as I will refer to it from here on out. So let's jump in. What is ESSA? If you didn't catch it earlier, it is called the Every Student Succeeds Act, and it was signed and passed December 10th, 2015 by President Barack Obama. This law was passed to replace the No Child Left Behind Act from back in 2001. Um, and I chose ESSA because I remember all of the complaints and frustrations that teachers that I knew and teachers in my family had expressed about the No Child Left Behind Act. They were very, very frustrated by it. So I wanted to see how ESSA measured up and if things got better. So let's see what happened. Although the No Child Left Behind Act showed significantly improved standardized testing scores, and it also helped educators to better identify learning difficulties. Like I said earlier, a lot of educators criticize the No Child Left Behind Act for its overuse of standardized testing, results-based teacher reviews, and forcing the teachers to teach to the test rather than teach the content. And performance-based pay. I also had the privilege of conducting a very brief interview with a principal at a school for which I used to substitute teach back in Oklahoma. His name is James Pratt. When I asked him his honest opinion on the No Child Left Behind Act, he was more than happy to give it to me, and he was very passionate about it, which was awesome. He said, honestly, you can't standardize kids like the No Child Left Behind Act was trying to do. It was just more legislation that steps into areas they don't have any clue about. It's great in theory, and I'm sure it means well, but it's terrible when your goal in school is to individualize helping each kid reach their potential. Get out of the way and let teachers love and teach their students. Which leads me to my next question. How is ESSA actually different from the No Child Left Behind Act? For one, it gives states the power and more flexibility to create their own assessment measures for students rather than relying on one, yes, you heard me, one standardized test per year. So each state was required to submit their own plan to chart how they planned to achieve educational success. And ESSA also discontinued the use of standardized testing to be the only means of evaluating teacher performance, which is huge because I cannot think of a more inaccurate way to measure teacher success. So much more happens outside of the tests and inside the classroom that teachers need to be recognized for and evaluated on. And there were also a number of other changes that ESSA made, but for time's sake, I only discussed the two biggest areas of change that I could see. To gather the current perspective on ESSA, I conducted a brief interview with English learner content specialist Erica Fain, and she summed it up perfectly by this quote. She said, ESSA takes the focus from did they pass to did they make progress. I then asked her, what do you feel are the cons of ESSA? To which she replied, for the state of Oklahoma, one of the cons for EL is that expectations are for EL students to exit or achieve a certain level of English proficiency in 5 years. That's not enough time for some students. Even with the freedom to set up our own plan, it is not individualized enough. And then I asked her, how do you think that ESSA affects learning/teaching? And she said teachers are more focused on progress rather than simply teaching to test, which would equate to less pressure being placed on the students. And I really, really enjoyed my research on this particular educational law, so I did this slide just for fun because I thought you all might find the information on this link interesting as well. It shows each state's plan as it was evaluated by the Alliance for Excellent Education. So you might just go there and take a look and see what your state's like. I enjoyed doing that. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.